Smooth. A little bit of Monica in the house, a little bit of something on her blouse, a little bit of Rita, she's a go, a little bit of Tina, she's a hoe, a little bit of Sandra on the desk, a little bit of Mary, she's the best, a little bit of Jessica in my life, a great big secret from my wife. Hey, girls, me and you, I can get y'all a job at Revlon too. You know me, I love the freak. See you, babe, same time next week. All right,
Mr. President, Mrs. Clinton just called. She will be arriving after all.
Okay, everybody. Cross the smoke. Straighten this place up. Hey, honey. Welcome home.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
It is the big broadcast. Happy Hour. News Talk 93.1 FM WACD for a Wednesday afternoon. We have a new guest sidekick today. We'll introduce in just a moment. Right now, it's me, Pamela DeBuke. Watch us on Happy Hour with Greg Udell on the YouTube.
And like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. All right, let's give our guest a big welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, I know absolutely nothing about the woman sitting in here other than she's a very attractive redhead, seems to have a feisty attitude, and I'll let you fill in the rest of the blanks. Let's welcome Kelly.
Kristy.
I missed by one. I thought you said Kelly yesterday.
I didn't.
No, it's Kristy.
I need to learn how to learn these things before we actually go on the air and make mistakes.
It's okay.
We forgive you this time.
Thank you. So, a master thespian who is usually, well, or at least during the summer has been, we are still kind of looking for long-term Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sidekick. We really appreciate you stepping in. This is a much more fun job when there's more people in the studio to play with, so to speak. So tell us about yourself and what pushed you over the line to say, hey, I'd like to sit in with you guys for an afternoon.
My husband.
Oh, encouragement from, that's great.
Well, my name is Kristy Savage. I am the owner and practice manager of Southeast Psychiatry Services. And we've been in business for 4 years.
You say psychiatry services? Oh.
Yes.
You're not here recruiting business.
Well, if y'all need an appointment, I can help you out with that.
We both probably could use psychiatry.
Well, I mean, over the course of my life, I've had a battalion of therapists, not to mention a few rehab stops along the way. So, yeah, I'm all for anybody that wants to get mental help when the problem is bigger than your ability to manage it. And, you need somebody who can tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear.
Yes, I agree. Everybody at some point in their life needs somebody they can talk to, counseling.
I had a guy in Florida that I went to for several years. He was very good. We had a lot of good sessions, but I don't even remember what I went in upset about. And so I laid out this new drama and I said, what should I do? And he looked at me for a very long and uncomfortable pause. And he said, grow up.
Mm-hmm. Put your big boy pants on.
Grow up. Really. And, ooh, God, that was awful to hear, but he was right. And I got started. I'll leave it at that. But do you think there's still a stigma attached, though? I mean, I know there more so years ago, but I think people who seek counseling should be applauded.
Yes, definitely. That stigma is still there, especially in the men. They're it's more in the men than it is the women, but it's still there.
That old macho stuff doesn't die. No, I've got a pretty good patient in mind here. I've got the video queued up for Alex Padilla, the senator from California. This few production touches were added to. This is all about his big trauma when he tried to burst into the Kristy
Oh, yeah.
press conference. Now typical liberal bedwetter trying to sell this line of crap, I guess, in the Senate.
I was forced to the ground. First on my knees, and then flat on my chest.
Oh,
And as I was handcuffed
well, those hurt.
and marched down a hallway, repeatedly asking, why am I being detained? I was forced.
Why am I being? Well, because you behave like a
Rectum.
Yeah. Let's start with that. That's funny with the cat and Trump playing the Titanic
Yeah.
in the background.
I
Yeah.
mean, just ridiculous.
Yes, absolutely.
Did he say he was traumatized? I was answering the phone.
He was traumatized. What do you do with that? I maybe cast him in a movie because that's pretty good acting there.
Mm-hmm.
Fed holds rate steady. You bastard. Jerome Powell, you are a failure and a disappointment. They cut the rate for Kamala, but not for Trump.
Of course.
After bringing inflation to a grinding halt. God, that pisses me off.
You want to hear the exciting headline
Yes.
today? Karen Reed, do you remember me talking about this?
Yes.
In her second trial, found not guilty. They had a mistrial the first time.
Right.
Not guilty. They found her guilty of a DUI.
But somebody died, right? Was it her husband?
Her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend.
But the circumstances are crazy. And there wasn't actually any evidence she did anything or was even there when he died.
So how could they charge her with such a serious crime if there was really no evidence?
Because he was at another cop's house. He was a cop at another cop's house. And it was it seems like a very dirty situation.
It's a huge headline maker. It's like the number two. Well, when you're on the brink of a nuclear annihilation, there's always that. So usually a pretty big story. And, but this has been up there today, and I've never really paid a lot of attention to it. But I did see the jury had reached a verdict, and but they hadn't announced it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So she's guilty of DUI.
Yes, and not guilty of. Let me see, second-degree murder, the top charge, and also not guilty of drunken driving, manslaughter, and fleeing the scene of a deadly accident.
Sounds like she got a little slap on the wrist.
She didn't do it.
Oh, I'm not saying she did.
They had testimony that he died from an animal attack. He had wounds consistent with being attacked by a dog.
Oh.
And the owner of the home that he was at had a dog who they got rid of, rehomed.
Oh, they rehomed it.
Within weeks of the person dying at their house, this other cop. And there's just all kinds of weird stuff. Everybody in the house in some way manipulated with their cell phones and either got rid of SIM cards or destroyed their phones altogether or got rid of them. And then the homeowner also remodeled his basement right after. Yeah.
Nothing to see here, though.
Nothing to see here. And nobody else has been charged with anything or on trial. And now that cop has actually also moved. So he sold that house altogether within the last year. Yeah.
Wow.
Fishy. But this was in Massachusetts.
Speaking of Massachusetts, there's a story today. The governor, you have to explain to me what it is that people think of when they vote for these clowns. The governor has burned through almost $1 billion in emergency shelters for illegals.
What?
Yeah. And they have, they're a sanctuary state. The taxpayers are stuck with this bill. And typical government, they're spending $4,000 a week per family to house these people We could do better
What
than
in
that.
the world?
And then they wonder why they lose. 4,000 families receiving taxpayer-funded shelter, food, education, legal aid, and case management. Can we do anything else for you while you're here illegally? God.
Where does it cost $4,000 a week?
It's the government. Somebody sent me, I think it was my friend Kathy, sent me a photocopy of a hospital bill for a woman that had a baby in 1943. I think it was $47 for everything.
Oh my goodness.
Medicine.
Now it's 50 grand.
Yeah. One of the reasons everything is so ridiculous is government involvement in health insurance and all that. Crazy. Cranky's our first caller of the afternoon. Welcome.
Hey, congratulations. First off, about Alex Padilla. I watched Margaret Brennan hold his hand. It was like Oprah Winfrey comforting a gang rape victim Sunday morning. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Clearly this guy had no business. They didn't know who he was. He just ran up on her. You know? And the fact that he's a senator, she is a cabinet level position. He does not outrank her. The Senate has to approve her position, her being appointed, but she outranks him.
Yeah.
And, you know, anybody that saw anything else other than some guy doing a bum's rush on her is an idiot. And but on the happy side of things, I'm so happy for you. No, your new guest host is not recruiting. This is called a shelter-in-place intervention, and I'm so happy that you're getting that opportunity. I'm so happy for you.
I'm so glad, Cranky. Thank you. Cranky, thank you.
All right. Y'all have a great rest of the week. Thanks for picking us
How
up.
could I not? Is that what this is? An intervention? Did Blue Water Broadcasting contact you and ask you to come in here and help me?
It could be one for me too, and I don't know it.
That's our secret.
Cameron has joined us early.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yeah. You guys know I love you and I listen every day, but I'm afraid Greg's going to start thinking I'm just trying to get more allowance. I'm calling in today. I'm so happy for what you're doing, having Kristen in on the show. People don't realize that you can sprain your brain during life, just like you sprain your ankle or break your leg. And Kristen, I don't even know you, but I respect you for spending the time to help people with sprained or broken brains. So good on you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Cameron, thank you for a nice call.
Yeah, that was nice.
How did you find yourself in this particular field?
Well, I have a 18-year-old who was diagnosed with Asperger's.
Oh.
And I was originally working with another psychiatry practice when they were bought out. So I come home crying, and my husband said, well, you've already opened up one practice. You can do it again. Let's open up another practice. I said, are you crazy? Really? On my own? So we put the wheels in motion, and I just have a passion for mental health because it is such a big problem out there for this area of having a provider to see. And the one that cares. That's the biggest thing, is having compassion. In Southeast Psychiatry, we have compassion. We go above and beyond for our patients.
You know, compassion is great. I've always, when I look at the news, what I see in a lot of stories is a lot of self-pity. We have conditioned a large part of the population to feel they're a victim, that we should feel sorry for them. That nobody gets better on that.
Right.
And trust me, nobody had more felt sorry for themselves than I have in my life at different times. Sometimes I might relapse here and there.
We all do.
But over stupid stuff, like when my bike had a flat tire last week, I was very put out by that. But again, I've also learned, you know, the quickest way to, you know, because I'm a recovering alcoholic. And
good for you. Good.
Through thousands of meetings, years of practice, great sponsors, therapists, that initial reaction, I just like to forget this. you know,
Mhm.
and a drink will do that. But when you've had the created the problems for yourself, like I have, you learn that process that you think the drink and you go immediately where that drink is going to take you, and it's going to be worse. And that process is now in less than a nanosecond. That's really what I needed to learn, you know, think the drink and, or the drug or whatever it's going to be. It's not going to make it better. It's only going to make it worse.
Mhm.
And it's hard to learn that. You know, when I first started going to 12-step meetings a long time ago, well, I'm running into other topics here, and I don't want to get all over the place. But one of the things that, first of all, I'm against court-mandated attendance at 12-step meetings. That's stupid. Anybody that wants to get well has got to want to get well. It can't be installed.
Exactly.
There is no magic drug. It takes work. It takes a lot of work. And I just felt like I needed all the king's horses, all the king's men to get, and it still was hardly perfect.
Mhm.
It took, ultimately, I had to lose everything to realize what really mattered. You know, I had the life, I had it all. I had the world by the ass in both hands and pushed it away.
Mm.
But I don't feel sorry for myself over that because it needed to happen. Everything happens for a reason.
Mhm.
And you may not know what the reason is immediately, but if you work at it, you'll get there
Mhm.
and understand. Last month, and I don't think about, I'm not a believer in measuring sobriety in days, months, years, because I've seen a lot of people who haven't had a drink in 10, 20 years who are miserable people. That's not the point. It's not supposed to be an exercise. And so, you got to have a little spiritual awakening so that you really learn to love and live life without chemicals, whatever they are. It's all the same. Some are legal, some aren't, but it's all fleeing reality. And on May 10th last month, that was the last, 40 years ago, was the last time I saw a flake of cocaine. And that crap pretty much controlled my life, my finances, everything for almost 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I always look at getting past that as important, because when I did, I later had to deal with alcohol issues and stuff. But when I got past that, my life got so much better. My career took off, started making money I never even dreamed I'd make. And I could have been buying massive amounts of that stuff instead of little brown bottles full of it and destroying my economy. I always used to joke that the worst invention of the 80s was the ATM machine, because it allowed you to get cash at weird hours so you could
Anywhere. Mm-hmm.
see that person that had what you wanted and get it at 3:30 in the morning just before you did a radio show. Wasn't a very healthy life. It all happens in phases. We are at 3:25. I'm not turning this into a lecture either, by the way. I'm just sharing since we have an expert in the field.
Yeah, I like this. You know, I saw a TikTok and I shared it on my Facebook page a month or two ago. And it was it wasn't an awareness video or anything. It was a whiskey distillery. And they were just talking about how much the government makes off of them every day. And it's insane. They will never, ever do anything about alcohol because they make so much money off of it, no matter how many people it destroys. It's millions from one place.
Yeah.
We're in the wrong field.
Alcohol is evil. It's poison.
Yes. Yes.
I still have my one addiction. I still smoke. And boy, that's the easiest tax in the world to pass, because nobody will stand up for smokers and say, enough is enough already. I think a pack of these here I don't even want to say what these cost per pack, but it's over 10.
Mm.
And I'll bet 90% of it is taxes.
A lot of it. Mm-hmm.
So, and then our reward for paying all those taxes is to get treated like social lepers. We're not welcome anywhere. It's hard to find somebody that, will let you indulge. We're always behind the building or outside somewhere. So thinking, you'll see me come and go out of this studio a few times this afternoon too.
I think if you smoked natural cigarettes, that is a better alternative than pharmaceuticals and alcohol.
I'm counting on the modern day filter to take most of the worst of it out. But that's, and I know a lot of people who are like me who used to be addicted to everything, including booze, but they still smoke. It is so hard to stop.
Because it activates the dopamine receptors in your brain. So it makes you happier, more positive.
I think I have supersized dopamine receptors.
I'm sure you do. You have trained your body to have that. You can't produce it on your own anymore. Sorry, that's the reality of it.
Well, listen,
do you want a job for counseling?
This is my personal. I have gone through so much in my life, for real, and people have always been my passion.
Mm-hmm.
So my own stuff, and then just loving people and wanting to understand people. I am so tuned in. But I'm my own worst enemy.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Because of everything I've gone through. I'm so miswired. Seriously.
We're all miswired.
Here's something. I'm going to tell you the story really quick. I've always been interested in working in your field. Back in 2008, I'm one of those people that has to click the some college box on an application.
Me too.
Some college, but lots of military in your case.
Yes, I did. I would have a lot of college credits.
So we launched a new radio station back in the fall of 2008, and my afternoon talk show ended when it used to be on the AM station. So I thought, well, I can finish my degree. I had enough credits. I was on the dean's list. I just needed, and I was going to get finish my degree in a minor in psychology or something, whatever it was that they offered at Huntington. Well, Huntington heard me talking about this, and they called me up and they said, it's really getting nasty outside.
Very loud.
They offered a scholarship me to finish their adult education curriculum to finish the degree. And then I seriously wanted to either join a practice or go into practice, specifically working on counseling for addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And I had everything set to go. I was going to be going to college in the evenings, and I think it was going to take 2 semesters to finish. I was going to have a big graduation ceremony, wear the cap and gown, and have a party at Baumhauer's to celebrate. Then the company leased another signal and said, we're going to make that a talk station. So guess what? You're going back on the air in the afternoon.
Oh, no.
And I had to cancel my big plan. So I never did finish. It's just, I just don't have the time to give that kind of focus to finish something. It's still
I was going to say, you can still finish. You didn't have much to go.
No. And I loved Huntington. I loved the people there. The staff there was really great. They were excited about this, but it just didn't work out. But I've had the chance, because I think, and your take, of course, on this would be most welcome, that part of the recovery process in any, whether it's chemicals or whatever, is not feeling shame.
Yeah.
That's what keeps people in that cycle.
It does.
Guilt and shame.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's horrible.
Well, people like me, we are immediately, when you're an actively addicted drinker, drug, or whatever it is, pretty much universally diagnosed as an egomaniac with an inferiority complex.
Mm-hmm.
And that ego, that massive ego, is what prevents you from, I don't want anybody to know that I need help. I don't want anybody to know the long list of embarrassing and stupid problems I've caused for myself with this behavior. You got to protect that. It's like, that's part of the vicious cycle. So one thing I like is that, in fact, I did a whole series of magazine columns a few years ago called Rehab, Part 1, 2, and 3. How did I get there? What happened inside? And putting it to work afterwards. And I feel pretty good about the fact that, I did this long list of massively bad decisions, choices, you name it. But a lot of that stuff has become radio fodder. So I figured, well, now I'm making a profit off my own stupidity by sharing this stuff without shame. And it's actually helped a few people along the way.
Mm-hmm. You never know what your story's going to do for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Well, we have certainly
gotten off on a good foot.
I'm feeling better. We hope you are too, those of you listening. Watch us again, like and subscribe. Happy Hour with Greg Budell on YouTube. We'd appreciate it.
Yes.
And feel free to call in at 272-9228 and join the show. One place that has helped thousands of men here in town is Montgomery Men's Health. Notice the name of the business. It's Montgomery Men's Health, not Montgomery Men's Sexual Health. Yes, they can help people who have issues in that realm, but it's really dedicated to helping men find what they need to live a full and active life, to feel good, to get adequate sleep, to not just think about exercising, but having the energy, the gas in the tank to do it, and to exercise and get results. All of these things are possible, but the one thing that's often the culprit in preventing that is a low testosterone level. So for $99, Montgomery Men's Health offers a test that will determine that number. And if it's low, guess what? They can fix it there. And it doesn't take a long time. It's a relatively simple process. But the difference it makes is huge. So whether you're dealing with any of the symptoms I just described, or you do have a sexual health issue, without shame, call 334-440-3663, make an appointment, get the test, and then fix the problem. It's really that simple. 334-440-3663, or learn more online at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. 334.
Traffic is brought to you by Dylan Rings. Dylan Rings has great watches and beautiful rings. Or have Josh design a piece of jewelry for you. Shop Dylan Rings now at 119 Brown Springs Road. And check them out on Facebook.
Rain in the area, and we've got accidents. I-85 northbound, just past Ann Street. We had a truck and a car touch, swap a little paint there against the center divider. Left lane is blocked right there. Also a vehicle off on the right, and an 18-wheeler disabled on the ramp up from Ann to 85 north. A little bit of a slow patch right there on 85, and also on 85 northbound just before Chantilly. Had several vehicles involved in a minor accident. They are off on the right with emergency workers right now. All lanes are open, but that's causing a little bit of a slowdown too, coupled with a 3-lane to 2-lane merge right before Chantilly. Buckle up. We'll keep you updated. Great shopping at Premier Place. Shop Cato Fashion, Sally Beauty, Professional and Spa, America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses, and more. Premier Place in Prattville, another great McClinton and Company development. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
We have an airport weather warning.
Oh, no.
Well, it's just, there's some severe thunderstorms near the airport, so planes won't be coming and going for just a little bit. That stuff is moving to the northeast. There's quite a bit of it out there. In fact, this is sort of like the second batch of storms we've had today. Boy, some people just have a knack for timing. It's right outside our door.
Wow, it's very widespread.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it looks like, though, the weather will be fine for you to join us at Baumhauer's Victory Grill tonight. We certainly hope to see you there after the show.
News is brought to you by Jack Ingram Nissan. Shop now at jackingramnissan.com.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A new medical complex is coming to the city of Millbrook. The 17 Springs Sports Complex upcoming marketplace construction phase will be home to a new Southern Orthopedic Surgeons facility. Along with orthopedic and therapy services, the complex will also have a general urgent care clinic open 7 days a week. Firefighters responded to a house fire that severely damaged a Montgomery home late Monday night. Fire rescue crews were called to the 2400 block of Spruce Curve, where a single-story home was engulfed in heavy smoke and flames. No one was found inside the home, and firefighters eventually extinguished the blaze. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Newsweek has nominated Riverwalk Stadium as one of the best AA ballparks in the country. Riverwalk Stadium has been the home of our Montgomery Biscuits since 2004. You may vote for Riverwalk Stadium as best AA ballpark once per day on Newsweek's website until June 25th. It's quick, simple, and takes less than a minute to vote. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
In the market for a used car? Visit jackingram.com to view our selection of luxury, domestic, and imported vehicles. With 8 locations and online at jackingram.com, Jack Ingram Motors is sure to have the perfect car for you.
At Guardian Credit Union, if it's important to you, it's important to us. We don't do banking differently. We do relationships differently. Want to secure a HELOC for home projects? So do we. Want to build your credit? So do we. Want to plan your next vacation? So do we. We're here to help with whatever's next, because whatever you want in life, so do we. Stop by any of our branches and let's plan your next step together. Guardian Credit Union, where you belong. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Housing Opportunity. NMLS 912757.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/radio. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ziprecruiter.com/radio to try it for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads, great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage, weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans, also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke. Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you got a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The risk of scattered showers and storms will continue well into the evening hours before they fade out overnight. Low temperature down to about 72. Now, the general trend for the next few days will be more random storms, but maybe fewer on the radar. Just not as many storms to go around. Highs in the low 90s tomorrow, but edging closer to the mid 90s by the time we get to the weekend with dangerous heat indices 105 or higher. The official first day of summer, of course, is Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE's 25 and 25 has you covered. For just $25 in closing costs, you can tap into your home's equity. No hidden fees, no headaches, just extra cash. Visit your local ASE Credit Union branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, NMLS 420259. Terms apply.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
ASE, an equal housing lender. Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Our guest sidekick today is Kristy. She is in the field of mental health. Now, since I'm open about my history, I have a sense of humor about it. Like every once in a while, especially on the morning show, because I work with a very difficult woman. I don't want to name any names here, but once in a while I'll get pushed to the point where
They're coming to take me away, ha ha. They're coming to take me away, ho ho, hee hee, ha ha.
that was actually a top 40 hit way before your time or Pamela's time. But we've always had fun with this one here, the Mental Health Hotline.
Hello and welcome to the Mental Health Hotline. If you are obsessive compulsive, press 1 repeatedly. If you are codependent, ask someone to press 2 for you. If you have multiple personalities, press 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you are paranoid, we know what you are and what you want. Stay on the line and we'll trace your call. If you're delusional, press 7 and your call will be transferred to the mothership. If you are schizophrenic, listen carefully and a small voice will tell you which number to press. If you're depressive, it doesn't matter which number you press, no one will answer you. If you're dyslexic, press 69696969. If you have a nervous disorder, please fidget with the hash key until the beep. After the beep, please wait for the beep. If you have a short-term memory loss, please try your call again later. And if you have low self-esteem, hang up. All our operators are too busy to talk to you.
I like him. He's crazy.
It is 3:44.
Love it.
So, tell us more about your company and the services you offer.
Well, we have 2 medication management providers and 2 counselors. And we have 4 employees. Shout out to my patient care coordinators at the office, Bree, Tiffany, and Wanda, who make the day-to-day process easy and smooth. They're awesome. Whenever you come to Southeast Psychiatry as a patient, you are well taken care of. Like I said, we go above and beyond for all of our patients. And we are 100% telemed.
Really?
So you don't have to leave your home. It keeps the patient in their comfort zone.
Nice.
I wish that had been available a long time ago. I would think that having access to telemed makes it at least somewhat easier for people who want to get help. Because I've had friends tell me, they finally relented, wanted to go see a psychiatrist or a therapist. Good therapists are tough, they just tell you what they see. And because you don't need, if you've gotten to the point where you need help, you don't need a cheerleader. You need somebody who will,
exactly
give you some rules to live by. But I know people that were going to go get help, even made appointments and then never showed.
Is that stigma?
Yeah. And it's the whole process. Well, what if, again, the egomaniac inferior comment, what if somebody sees me walking into this office that says mental health or psychiatrist or whatever? And I've been around this whole thing long enough to know, to experience treatment with lithium. I don't remember much about that. It wasn't what I needed. But do you think in general things like antidepressants and stuff are overprescribed? I mean, it can be when you wake up and all you want to do is cry and you're not even sure why. I mean, that's depression.
Right.
Like a chemical imbalance
Yes.
that needs regulation.
Yes, yes. I think that your overprescribed drugs or your Adderall and controlled substances for the ADHD.
Yeah, that's been. We've talked about this topic.
Yeah, it's huge now.
We didn't see this with kids. Have always been very active. You know, it seemed to me that a lot of parents who didn't want to try and keep up with a super active youngster were seeking like it was some kind of a sickness when it sounded pretty normal to me. I mean, we were always busy when we were kids.
Right.
But now it seems like they really.
Because people are selfish.
That's
parents want to do what they want to do.
With you on that.
Yeah, people have what they want to do, and if their kid is not, just shut up and color.
Yeah, that's not parenting either.
No,
it's more like babysitting.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not building any skills in your child.
Big difference.
And acting like your child annoys you. It's not helpful.
And that doesn't help the child feel better about
That's what I was about to say. Let's see how that child grows.
Yes.
Feeling like a second-class citizen in their own house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna feel like they can't talk to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna say, "I remember this. My mom used to just brush me off, and now why would I even say anything?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to hear what I have to say."
It's sad.
It's sad. Yeah.
What is the most common thing people come seeking help with? Is it substance abuse? Is it low self-esteem?
Anxiety and depression is there. We have seen an increase in those two over the past year and a half.
Anxiety is often, I think, reflective of somebody who wants to be more controlling and can't. And since they want to know the outcome, they want answers before everything has had a chance to play itself out. And it can be crippling. Yes. I mean, it really, really can. It can, you don't function at work.
I mean, if you think about it, everybody at some point in time, you've had anxiety.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've had stress. It leads to anxiety. And if anxiety goes on long enough, you're going to get down on yourself, and that leads to depression.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody at some point in time has dealt with some anxiety. It's just the level of anxiety.
Right.
Whenever it becomes a point to where you need to seek help. Is
if it gets in the way of going about your day to day.
Yes.
You can't keep on a schedule, can't get to work because you can't function.
So when people say they've had crippling anxiety, that's a true statement.
Yeah. No, I've seen that, it's one thing to be, I remember I was up for a radio job. This is after crawling out of the gutter. I mean, when the day came when I said, I've had enough of this. I'm not going to negotiate the terms of surrender. I'm going to do what my sponsor tells me to do. That's how the Fountain Diner thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a big hotshot household face in South Florida. The next thing I know, I'm working in a diner for old folks as a waiter. And I got recognized, but it was a brilliant move by my sponsor because I needed that humbling.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was your ego death.
It had, I had no choice. And it was either live or die. So if living meant accepting this great humbling and so forth, I was totally, in fact, it got to the point where I carried a picture of my daughter in my folder when I would approach a table. Aren't you? Yeah, that's me. What are you doing here? And I would say, well, this is my daughter. She is training in equestrian competitions, and I need to make a little extra money so she can, because it's been great for her. And they loved that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't ask anybody for money or anything, but I would get some pretty big tips just from people that thought, well, that's cool. I want to help you help her. But what it did for me in the process was really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Should I play that bit?
Yeah, play it.
Yeah. It was the Fountain Diner in Pembroke Pines, Florida. And it was a tough crowd because most of them came from a place we jokingly called Cemetery Village. It was Century Village, but it was... And one of those places where they all went to the same place at the same time. Generally, it was parties of 5 because somebody was always a widow or a widower. And these were 99% were transplants from the New York area or New Jersey, somewhere up in that realm, and very hostile. Very hostile.
And now, another flashback favorite on News Talk.
Mental Health Wednesday. I'm just thinking of that restaurant I worked at in Pembroke Pines. Hello, Sonny. Where's my challah bread? And my soup isn't hot enough, Sonny. Go back and make it hotter.
That was really a trauma for you, wasn't it?
Yes. And the worst was, oh my, we were days away from having a hurricane pass through, and all the they come in, hawking at China with their gashamish buka at the table, waiting for their challah bread and matzo ball soup. Are you ready for the hurricane? There's a hurricane coming our way, Sonny. Quick, bag me up something I can take home for free. I'm going to run out of equal during the hurricane, so I'm just going to shove 40 or 50 of these little blue packets into my place. Okay, Sonny? Look the other way for a minute, which I'll leave you $1 tip on the table if you just do that for me, okay? Now go warm up my soup and don't spill it. My matzo ball isn't big enough. Get me another one. Oh, God did that. But I endured that. And the day came when it's okay, so you're ready to do something else. You've done as I asked. So my next job, I don't know that this is an upgrade, but I did telemarketing.
Oh, gosh.
Goodness.
For one of those Fairfield, it was some timeshare company.
Not timeshare.
Oh, gosh.
I hated it. But what I really learned doing that was the techniques, the managers, the people that trained us. They had that thing going on where it was almost impossible to say no to them. They would have been good like Nazi brainwashers. And that I just had no time. I only did that for a few weeks.
I don't think I could do that.
And then I graduated to another place that was kind of like telemarketing, but not really. We used to call up companies and offer to produce corporate videos. And we had one guy, one star, Robert Ulrich. I don't know if you remember that name or not, but he was on a TV show called Vegas. He died very young. That's why you probably don't know him. But he was our spokesman. So would you like to have your company have us produce a video telling the history, the story of your company, what you do today and what you offer? And it'll be narrated with visuals by Robert Ulrich.
I recognize that name. I've got to look him up.
That does sound familiar. I just don't know.
And then after that, here's the thing. There was no radio anywhere near any of this. But I kept doing them and I did not drink. And I wound up working for a company that did public relations for car dealers. What we did was somebody would visit a dealership, one of our client dealerships. If they didn't buy, we would get an alert from the dealership, and then we'd follow up and see what it was that caused them not to buy. Was it the price? Was it the way you were treated? I was really good at that, at getting people to come back for a second time. And that was good. Anyway, it was doing that. Then I started writing copy for on-hold messaging companies and voiceovers. So I was back doing at least something with my voice. And then just through a quirk of fate, a guy that was running a station down there needed a weekend jock, and he hired me. I wasn't even expecting it. It came back to me without trying.
Big break.
Yes, and I really believe there was God in the middle of all that, because I wasn't staying sober to get back into rehab. I was staying sober for myself. And it was tough. I did not have a driver's license. Even when I was eligible for one, I didn't have the money to get it. So I spent a lot of 95-degree afternoons waiting for buses. I'm not trying to date people. What kind of car do you have? Well, I don't right now. I will, but I don't right now. I did all that. A year later, I was driving free Lexuses.
Wow.
From a store that hired me to work for them because I took that other job. So it's amazing how it all works, but you have to take those steps without promise, not knowing what your efforts are going to yield. But it all came back. All the stuff I watched go down my driveway at 10 cents on the dollar, I got all of that back. But it wasn't about the stuff, because that's what it is, stuff.
Well, you said the key word, you have to want it for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to want the help, because we can help you all day long. But until you acknowledge in yourself there is a problem that needs help and you acknowledge it, it's going to be the cycle.
Oh, yeah. I've gone to therapy and straight up lied, told them what they wanted to hear because I wasn't in a place where I was going to change.
You wanted to suffice this person and suffice that person to say you went to counseling, but you weren't there for yourself.
No. Yeah. And they were going to tell me to make changes that I wasn't comfortable making in my life at the time. So I was like, sure.
Hey, just because we're talking about mental health doesn't mean you can't call 272-9228. We promise we're not going to stigmatize you for joining us.
You can be mentally healthy or mentally ill. Like us. Call in.
If you want to feel better on the outside about yourself, Pamela can help you with that at AMS Studios. Let's talk about your business.
And it does make you feel better on the inside.
Sure.
Too. It's self-care.
Yes, it is.
Do you remember what we talked about yesterday? How the average person gets like 20 minutes alone a day?
Yeah.
What's a long time?
Exactly. Nobody makes time. Moms don't do it. I see so many women who wait until their grandmas to come in because they're retired finally. Their kids are out of the house. And they're like, now I can take an hour a month for a facial.
That's what moms do.
Yeah.
AMS Studios has pampering services like the facials, like massage. Let's talk about some of the great technologies that are available for people to improve their appearance and body.
Yes.
I'll answer the phone while you two are discussing that.
Okay. Have you ever heard of microneedling?
Yes, I have.
So for anti-aging, microneedling and IPL, chemical peels, those are the biggest ones. We have body contouring, which is fat burning and skin tightening with the Evolve system and ultrasound cavitation. And then we do lymphatic drainage massage also, which is good after cosmetic surgeries. You need lymphatic drainage massage after to maintain your results. If somebody's getting a tummy tuck, come to us for a lymphatic drainage.
Wow.
But yeah, we have amazing stuff right in downtown Prattville.
I got a gift certificate for my husband for your
from
the spa.
Awesome.
I gotta use it though.
Yes.
I gotta
take
time.
an hour. Yes, exactly. Just an hour here and there. Yeah.
That's one of the things, though, I love about riding the bike every day. Yes, it helps burn off. I do have an addiction to these damn donut holes. They're just little magic bullets. But in addition to getting exercise, and I did 5 miles today, that is good quality alone time.
Yeah.
I love the neighborhood. I will see people here and there, wave, whatever, and today I was proud that I got 5 miles in while I was completely encircled by ominous clouds.
I know.
But they left me
You
alone.
have been getting lucky because it comes later in the afternoon.
I hit 3,700 miles today.
Woo! Good.
So, yeah.
So is 4,000 your next one? You're going to be racing to 4,000?
That's the next goal by Labor Day. I said it out loud here, Labor Day. I will hit the 4,000 mark.
My goal is just being able to get on a bicycle for 10 minutes.
You know what?
I love biking, but I haven't had a bike in years.
I've been going.
Kristy makes a great point. We tend to want to accomplish everything in a day.
Yeah.
And what I really should say, hey, it's a brand new day. I hope I can bike 5 miles today. Instead of saying, I'm going to hit 4,000 by Labor Day. I've got it all figured out.
Day by day by day.
Yeah. One day at a time. I know that's a cliche that everybody hates, but it's true. But you can get great results at AMS Studios for a better look, better body, or just to treat yourself to something that comes under what I call spoilage, because we need that too. And I have tried the intense pulse light therapy. I think it does an amazing job. When Susan Woody pays me a compliment that I look good, I'd love to take credit for that, but that's the IPL. Yeah, it's very rejuvenating. And you can get more information on all these services by visiting Pamela's business online at ams-studios.com or call 730-1268. Right now, 730-1268. AMS Studio brings you the Movie Maven at 5:35 this afternoon. And we have Jay Quellen's going to call at some point.
Nice. She's got to talk about her team.
They won. Thank God.
2 in a row.
I've never rooted harder for a team I really care about than the Panthers winning that thing last night. Soldier Boy's on the line at 4:02.
Hey.
Hello.
We're talking to you.
Hey, Greg, your guest has made some good points there. One thing I've learned that through age, she's probably learned it through training and experience. And I guess mine is through age and life experiences, which is a great teacher, as you know, right, Greg?
Yes.
And I hate codependent people. I hate when people come up to me and say, "Oh, he makes me so happy. She just fulfills me. She makes me so happy." I said, dude, it starts with you. If you can't make yourself happy, nobody else is going to make you happy.
Yeah.
He, she, or whatever. People don't understand that. They always are codependent on people too, And I was like, no, if you're not happy, if you can't walk away from that relationship and still feel good about yourself, you're with the wrong person.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, somebody can add to your life, but
Absolutely.
But you have to be whole by yourself.
Absolutely.
Because why? It all starts where?
With you. Yep. It's very hard to love someone who doesn't
how I
love
learned that,
themselves
too?
either.
I saw this one time, and Skytra said this on this video. It was pretty interesting. He kept throwing a pebble or a rock into the pond and watched it as it hit the center point of where it landed in the lake, and it rippled out. And as it ripples, he says that's how it affects other people, other things, and everything in your life. And he's a good example as a pebble and a rock in the water.
Yeah.
Great point.
Soldier Boy, thanks for contributing to the show this afternoon, 2729228. Our guest sidekick is Kristy, and we will resume in just a moment. We'll be going to Baumhauer's after the show tonight, as we do on every Wednesday. Hope you come and join us over there. I think we're going to try, hopefully, they've got that issue fixed so we can do.
Yeah, the ice cream.
Yeah, so that we can do shortcake, strawberry shortcake tonight. It's so good. And Brant McDonald will join us at 5:15, talk about the day's market news. I don't think it did much of anything today.
No, down slightly.
Slightly, okay. Well, with all the drama going on in the Middle East.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. Not bad at all. If you are interested in planning your financial future, reach out to Brant and his team at Invista Advisors at 387-0094. Salem Radio Network News coming up.
Well, our accidents on I-85 at Ann Street and out near Chantilly have cleared, but we have a lot of heavy traffic moving slow due to the rain in the area this afternoon. We've got several minor accidents scattered around Montgomery, including one Tallapoosa Street in front of the Renaissance downtown. Those are not really causing any problems, but traffic is building, and we're getting busy with the rain falling. Slow down, buckle up. Low beams on I-65 northbound just past Tyson Road exit coming into Montgomery. We've got a vehicle that has gone off the road in between the north and southbound lanes. Buckle up. Keep it here for updates. Are you searching for a new journey in your life? Trenton State has over 30 degrees from 6 weeks to 2 years. Lots of scholarships and financial opportunities available. Go to trentomstate.edu for more information. I'm Wendell J., Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Hey teachers, the Guardian Credit Union Foundation has an opportunity for you. Until July 31st, educators can apply for the Teach for Tomorrow grant, providing $1,000 to bring your classroom projects to life. From STEM supplies to music gear to school-wide projects, we're here to support your vision. For full details and eligibility requirements, visit myguardiancu.com. The Guardian Credit Union Foundation, supporting those who shape tomorrow.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial properties and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bell's Cleaning River Region.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. Even in the digital age, radio remains the most powerful reach medium for connecting with audiences. Its ability to engage listeners, reach a wide and diverse audience, and create real emotional connections sets it apart from other forms of media. Radio's adaptability and easy access ensure its continued relevance now and in the future. Want to learn how radio can work for your business? Visit bluewaterbroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Shortwave, take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
All right. We've had an interesting sequence of celebrity passings. A week ago, it was Sly Stone at the age of 82. Brian Wilson later in the week at age 82. Paul McCartney turned 82 today. He's okay. But this guy passed away at age 82.
And you're not going to hear it on YouTube.
No, you're not. Just a little bit of his biggest hit. So Lou Kristy has passed away at the age of 82. Isn't that weird? That
All three of them.
That comes in threes. Mm-hmm. Although I would not equate Lou Kristy with Brian Wilson necessarily or Sly Stone. Still, we had some pretty big hits in the, especially around the time that the Beach Boys first came on the top 40 scene. However, we got Cowgirl. Yesterday's Sidekick is on the phone.
Well, hello.
Are you calling because you missed this? Because you had so much fun?
Yes. Well, I wanted to thank you once again. I wish I would have done a little better, but maybe next time I will be a little more prepared. How about that?
It's just comfort.
You're welcome to come back. And
I really did it. I thought it was really cool, really. And if nobody's ever been in that sort of thing, it's pretty neat to see how things work.
Yeah.
And and I listen to y'all every day, and it's nice to be able to just hang out with y'all and just just get to know people, that you hear, and I don't know.
Well, unless Kristy's already made it, are you going to come back?
Sure.
See, look, every time
He's going to come back for our therapy.
I've seen Pamela.
We're on a regular schedule now.
Pamela
back
first,
next week. Yeah, we need weekly.
Pamela's first
sessions,
visit to the studio was to do 10-minute business break.
Yeah.
She's now the producer sidekick for this thing. Just take repeated exposure, and you feel more confident and more comfortable. And, I like it when people feel at home in my studio. We're having a party here.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to go see Pamela in her studio because I watched some of my video and I was like, oh, I look awful.
I think that every time I look at myself on camera, I'm looking oh my gosh, what can I go fix? I don't even want to look at
You
this.
look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, okay, I look like that. But then when you see a picture of yourself or a video, you're like, I don't look like that.
Where did those lines come from?
Exactly. That's why aesthetics was one of the industries that grew during COVID, because everybody was on Zoom looking at themselves in their camera, and they're like,
But what about me?
You sure is ugly.
Well,
Hey, you're looking really good for 40, okay?
thank you very much. And here I was so worried about turning 40. And look at me now, just barely a few years past that.
Well, all right, y'all. So have a good afternoon, and thank you again.
We'll see you again soon.
See ya.
And by the way, happy 80. Is McCartney 83 today?
I don't know.
1940. Yeah, I think so.
And now a star is born. On June 18, 1942,
Yeah.
the world welcomed little baby Paul McCartney.
Come on, push! Push! I can see his head! Here comes your son.
Paul McCartney, a star is born.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
It's Go Thank a Teacher Day today, and we will right after.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. In a video statement in Hebrew, Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu thanks President Trump for his support. He says, I want to thank President Trump, a great friend of Israel. I thank him for standing by us, and I thank him for the support the United States offers us in defending Israel's skies. The Fed holds interest rates steady. A jury found Karen Reed not guilty of second-degree murder in the death of her Boston police boyfriend. The National Hurricane Center says Hurricane Eric is now a Category 2 hurricane as it churns near coastal southern Mexico. On Wall Street, stocks finished mixed. The Dow was down 44 points. The Nasdaq gained 25. And the S&P 500 dropped a single point. This is SRN News.
Ladies and gentlemen, it appears we've had an interruption to our Salem Radio Network news feed. And we apologize for that, but we're not responsible. It's Go Thank a Teacher Day.
Go thank a teacher for what they do. That you appreciate them educating you. In every district, in every school. Because without them, you would be a stupid fool. They're teaching math, science, and music, Spanish, French, and chemistry, radio, English, and drama, middle shop. Teachers know you how to do it. Teachers know you have to read. They have given you the knowledge that you've got to learn. They're helping you grow. Library is a Bible. Reason why you know that you know. So teachers, thank the teachers. Thank teachers for all they do for the class. They giving their wisdom to you in the class. Giving you knowledge and tools in the class. Everybody go to school and go well. So thank you, teacher. Teaching class. Thank you, teacher. Teaching class.
I'm a agriculture teacher today. She was my high school English teacher, Miss Banks. And she, important lesson that I have used throughout my entire media career. She was the faculty member that ran our That was a lot of Logan High School in Chicago. I couldn't wait to do a the day after I got my first and only hole-in-one as a golfer. Oh, it was a good week. So we put out the first issue of the paper, and we called a meeting of everybody and said, you know what? This is a boring school paper. And we were all taken aback by this assessment of our first issue. We said, it's all scores and it's just dry. There's nothing really interesting here. And we need to fix this. So I want you all to find someone interesting or something interesting that's going on in the school that we can write about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had a friend, and I apologize if you heard this story on the morning show that we shared on this with Jay and Susan. A friend of mine just turned 16, and he was taking flying lessons. Cool. So I said, hey, my friend Ron Strecklersi is taking flying lessons. You mean like that? Yes, that's what I mean. So that was my first story. And it taught me the whole concept of human interest. Things that if you're going to be talking about topics that are of general interest. Mm-hmm. And it was like a brain reset. So Miss Banks taught me that, and years later, after I was established in Chicago radio, I took her out to dinner and thanked her.
Nice.
Yeah, that was really, and I told her, I said, there's no way I'm here unless we have that one specific day in the school newspaper office, because it changed my approach to everything. And that's how we work in radio. We're looking for interesting things about music, about artists that we play on the air, you know, any type of an angle. It is serving very well, and I know that made her feel really good. Teachers, people who, I mean, this is their life, but like with you in your business, when somebody turns the corner and goes on to thrive after they've first come to, is it Southeastern?
Southeast Psychiatry.
Southeast Psychiatry. When they first show up and their life is kind of a mess, and they turn it around.
We jump around and we hoop and holler at the office like,
yeah.
And you should, you know, it's
somebody comes and they're like, I'm done lying.
It really does make you think of, you don't realize how big of an impact you can make in someone's life just by listening.
Yeah.
And when the patients call, most of the time they just want to talk. They just want someone that will listen.
Yeah.
And you can see how sitting back and just letting them talk to you, how it affects them and their daily life. You're like, yes, there's one goal. There's one good thing that we've done today with this patient. And you just think forward where you can go. What's your next step with this patient? Mm-hmm.
Is it true that so many people think they're the only ones?
Yes. They really do, because they think at the point when they call us, okay, they're at the bottom of the barrel. They're like, okay, what else could go wrong? You know, nobody's ever experienced this before. You know, yes, they have. You just don't feel that at the time because you see all of yourself, and you see all your hurt, your pain, and you feel like you said, isolated yourself to keep stuff, try to keep stuff under control without asking for help.
The term I heard from rehab therapist was terminal uniqueness. I'm the only one. Can't possibly have happened to anybody else. Nobody else could have done this massively dumb thing and made this massively bad choice I did, and so forth. So getting over that, you know. I hope we're helping somebody today. You want to hear this Ted Cruz, Tucker Carlson interview?
Yeah, we can play it.
Here's the thing.
It is interesting.
I like both of these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no trouble whatsoever on humiliating Alex Padilla, the senator from California that barged into the bill, because he caused that problem himself. And he deserves the humiliation, in my opinion. But these are two guys I like. I just hate to see them in an adversarial kind of conversation.
I know, and I like both of them too, but they didn't come off very likable during. I guess because they were so compatible with each other.
All right, I've got a few minutes to make up my mind. Before we do that, at 421, let's take a quick look at the weather for operator. I'll go to short this weather forecast is coming up, and we should text your phone to see what she up here. And we have Miss Murray to move in. Coming at 5:35 for McDonald and see what the Midland Field Doppler is telling us. Still quite a bit of light rain. Most of the thunder has moved off to the north and east. Some rain into the early evening hours, but nothing life-threatening for sure. And it certainly shouldn't discourage you from joining us at the Baumhauer tonight on the Strawberry Shortcake. Traditionally, we must make sure that ice cream freezers are working there, because they won't do it if they don't have ice cream to put on the Strawberry Shortcake or cobbler, both of which are Baumhauer family recipes, both of which are excellent. Just up the boulevard from Baumhauer's, our friends at Georgia Floors Direct, Jeff Allington, and the group I call the Mary Van Floriers. Talk about PMA, positive mental attitude, positive approach. Jeff Allington was born with that. It's just like a gift. It has a way of, it's very contagious. He knows how to find it in other people, so he's built a staff at Georgia Floors Direct that's very much like him. Great with people, excited about the ability to help people find the flooring or the countertop or the window blinds they need at a wholesale price, and saving them time and money in the process, and making it such a positive experience. You really feel, this is why year after year they're voted number one. Yes, the quality of the product is awesome, and that helps, but the way people are treated, that matters too. And that's a big reason why year after year consumers vote Georgia Floors Direct number one. The boulevard across from Lowe, a flooring destination. Since we were there, anybody asked that question. We're at 424. Our guest sidekick today is Kristy, and this has been fun.
Yeah, it's been nice.
You know, this is a topic I think needs to be discussed more. Mental health. And,
yeah, I wish Eddie was going to do that. Because he and I have conversations about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We'll tell Eddie to come back next week.
Yeah, I will.
We can make that happen.
Yeah, I'll tell him. It'll be a full house.
If you're looking for a house, you're better with Bader, but if you're looking for fun, you're better with Bader too.
Seriously.
Where is Skipper with the traffic light?
Well, we got a couple of that's on I-65 northbound. One just past Tyson Road exit. Car went off the road there between the north and southbound lanes, and a little further up, 65 northbound, right near Highway 80. Got a vehicle against the center divider there. Use caution both of those locations. Several minor accidents scattered around Montgomery. Most are not causing any problem, but this one might be. McGee Road, East Boulevard. It's right near the Troy Highway intersection. Got a minor accident there. Raining, slow down, lights on, buckle up. We will keep you updated. Invisible Fence gives your pet the freedom to enjoy your yard and home without leashes or limitations. Call Vicky at Invisible Fence, 265-2585 with Dolce Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it's dangerous. But when you get leaf filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you can save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/radio. That's leaffilter.com/radio.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Recently, I met with 3 different owners of homes who had the same problem. They wanted to sell their house quick and sell it as is for cash. All 3 people were approached by different investors that said they had cash for their home, signed contract, only to find out they were not personally going to buy their homes, but find a buyer willing to pay more than they offered and pocket the difference. It's called wholesaling. Offer a contract to buy a house at a certain price, up the price to other buyers, and pocket the difference. I urge you, don't fall for it. You want to sell your home quick, use a licensed professional realtor, as I have been for 48 years, keeping promises to get homes sold quick. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225. Call Bo Goodson at 221-2883.
Good morning. Do you have time for lunch today? My treat. Absolutely. But what's the occasion? I'm in love with the 24/7 Express kiosk at Worth Cleaners. The kiosk is so easy to use, and I can drop off and pick up on my schedule. Thank you for sharing that tip with me.
You're welcome. I'm happy to have my lunch buddy back.
Have you tried the new Worth Cleaners 24/7 Express kiosk? This is the first service of its kind in Montgomery. Customers love the convenience of dropping off and picking up dry cleaning and laundry on their schedule, day or night, 365 days a year. Even if you've never used Worth Cleaners before, you can go to their location at 7825 Vaughn Road today and use their 24/7 Express kiosk. Instructions along with several descriptive photos are posted on the wall next to the kiosk to aid customers who are first-time users. Give it a try. Visit our Vaughn Road location or find Worth Cleaners on Facebook for more information. Your family's clothing is worth it.
This is Alice with Independent Glass. We advertise with Blue Water Broadcasting, and we get great results. If you want results like we get, you need to go with Blue Water.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing.
Hey, this is Robbie Clark. Stay cool with a spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give us a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The risk of scattered showers and storms will continue well into the evening hours before they fade out overnight. Low temperature down to about 72. Now, the general trend for the next few days will be more random storms, but maybe fewer on the radar. Just not as many storms to go around. Highs in the low 90s tomorrow, but edging closer to the mid-90s by the time we get to the weekend with dangerous heat indices 105 or higher. The official first day of summer, of course, is Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. Since we began in 1906, at CB&S Bank, we're here for you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Her deleted email folder is thicker than her ankles.
Drag to trash.
She's such a liar, her pantsuit's on fire. The only thing she hasn't taken from big Wall Street banks are the pens that are chained to the counter.
Huma, get me some bolt cutters.
Her laugh is infectious, just like Ebola. Hillary Clinton is the most hated woman in politics.
I don't always run for president. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. Stay thirsty for power, my friends.
That's when she should have been treated. 4:30 is the time, and Bo Holt is the caller.
Good afternoon. I've got a gripe for just a second because this is ridiculous. It's something you never used to see in our 10% sales tax city with ever rising taxes on everything.
Yes.
Yeah, this morning when I'm left to go to work over by Huntington College on Thomas Avenue and Woodley Road, the traffic signal was flashing. So I normally do my due diligence and I'll call and report it. But sometimes I just wonder what happens if I don't report it.
Right.
So I just came back on my way home from work and the traffic light is still flashing. So you're telling me that there's no city employees, there's no police officers, there's nobody else in the damn city that drove through the intersection and noticed that the light called anybody to do anything about it.
Well,
That
you
happened.
you know about my ongoing battle over the sinkhole on Magnolia Curve, right? I mean,
Yeah, but they finally put some cereal in it or something.
oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they kept coming up with all these crap fixes, and it took 2 days just to get those done, and it just got worse. I know a lot of people had badly damaged tires and rims from that stupid thing.
Mhm.
And then I finally put it in the magazine at the beginning of was it this month? May? No, it was June.
Was it June? No, it had to have been May.
Was it? I don't know. How do you treat somebody who has no concept of time? Anyway, I wrote it up in my May column, and then June I showed the fix this month. Yeah. And they finally came out and did what they should have done the first time, which is put asphalt in it and flatten it out, and it's beautiful. But they had
took forever.
orange drums and all kinds of crap.
Why do you have to go through such a length to get the most basic of, tasks completed? It's ridiculous. It shouldn't be that complicated. We have people that work for the city and who govern the city to take care of the crap while the rest of us go to work. So we don't, that's why we have them. And it's not just here, it's lots of places. But I just remember, you never used to see stuff like that around here.
No, I heard people tell me, when we were talking about that particular pothole issue, seems like years ago, if you called Emery Fulmer, his administration, they would have somebody on the way to fix that before you hung up.
Before you hung up the phone.
Yeah. But we're not interested. We need that money for initiatives and other important stuff.
Yeah, well,
anyway, me too.
Y'all have a good afternoon.
You too.
Yeah, that's totally good. The stuff we see. I hear about all this renovation plans, but you know what? You can build all the prettiest stuff you want, but until people decide they're going to renovate themselves, get off their ass, and facilitate changes and not wait for everything to be done for them until that culture changes. I don't see how it's going to get better. Preceding is my opinion, and even though it's 100% accurate, it is my opinion, and not that of Creedence Clearwater Revival Broadcasting Company. Can we have a short moment of silent meditation for the health of our fearless leader? Thank you for your participation. He's good. That's the boss. And yesterday, I get a Facebook message, and it's a picture of him going to the hospital. You don't need this. Gonna get this. All I need right now is Italian food and a bottle of red, and I'll be ready to go.
Italian food sounds good.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
By the way, that's another. Keep talking about these sugar fillings.
Donut home.
Yeah, they're so good.
Put it down.
I did. It's right here.
I know it's in arm's reach still.
But there's
this emotional support donut hole.
I'm gonna get.
Eat it.
I have discovered something at Baumhauer's that is like my newest addiction, and that's they're not really cheese sticks. I used to work for that band.
I have not heard that story.
There's lots of stories.
Oh, lots of stories. In fact, that's maybe you can help me get mentally right to start my stupid book. Not because I'm famous for a reporter or anything. I've just had God has given me. You've heard a few stories to tell.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
He needs to write a book. A lot of people ask for him to write a book.
You can do it.
Maybe your company can help me find that little missing motivation, the discipline. I mean, I'm better than I used to be. I love to write.
Well, just jot down some of your stories, and you'll have it on paper and give it to somebody else.
Record that
and give it to somebody to transcribe. We know you can talk.
Yeah, that. Although I was just speechless there for a minute.
His wheels are turning now. He's like,
Anyway,
Get a little recorder.
if you come and join us at $5 tonight, the mozzarella patties, that's really what they are.
What?
Oh, man. They're like about the size of a good tomato in size and thickness. And right out of the
That sounds good too.
crust.
I want cheese, I think.
Yes, and then
It
a
just
bowl
sounds good.
of marinara.
Yeah.
Dip in. It's like getting all the best parts of the pizza. It's so good. And this will be 3 weeks in a row. Have it for me. I believe that's what they call that. 437, we're going to catch up with Jake Malone here in just a minute. In legal crisis situations, as much as you need legal expertise and solution answers, you need leaders. And those are the two words that come to mind with Delta Towers. Legal leadership. Because generally you reach out for help with family law, short of a will or something that needs to be done, a crisis. And it's not just somebody who knows the law, but somebody who can look at your circumstances, devise a plan, and show you the way to the other side. Managing it yourself, never a good idea. Reach out for help at 819-4810. Now, you yourself may not be dealing with any kind of a family crisis, but you may know somebody who is. Again, this is what they need. People with hundreds of cases of family law under their belt and the eye to create a plan to get to the other side of the crisis, to get you through it so you can come out whole and resume and move on with life. 819-4810, they help with adoptions, blended families, and more at Delkin Tomlinson. To see all of their services and testimonials, visit this web address, thealabamafamilylawyers.com, thealabamafamilylawyers.com for Delk and Tomlinson attorneys at law. We are at 4:38. We're going to check in with Skipper in the traffic dungeon. We have our one and only presentation of 1819 news in a moment. Rich's forecast here.
Well, we have a disabled vehicle, I-65 southbound at Highway 80. That vehicle, we believe, is against the center divider there, but use caution. All lanes seem to be open. A couple of minor accidents that could be causing a little bit of a problem. McGee Road at East Boulevard, that's the Troy Highway intersection, and the 3200 block of Norman Bridge near East Patton. That is over near the old Normandale Shopping Center. For those of you that have been around Montgomery for a while, please use caution. Buckle up. Raining all over the area. We're seeing folks slipping and sliding around. Here we go. Check out the all-new 2025 Ford McKinnon Toyota. They're in stock and on the lot, but they're going fast. It's worth the drive. McKinnon Toyota, exit 12 off I-65 in the plant. I'm with Jay McKinnon, Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Mr. Electric. At Mr. Electric, they have the power to make things better.
18-19 years.
Alabama just received a massive legal victory in its defense of the DCAP law that bans transgender surgeries or hormone treatment for minors. The U.S. Supreme Court just ruled in favor of a similar state law out of Tennessee and has been working its way through the appeals process. In a 6-3 vote, the Supreme Court justices determined that the state law was not discriminatory. This ruling allows for states across the nation to implement such a law, just as Alabama has done. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall says that up until a few years ago, the notion of providing sex change procedures to children was practically unthinkable. Marshall is applauding the Supreme Court for recognizing that state governments have the authority to regulate medicine in the face of medical interest groups and radical gender ideology that has been seeking to replace evidence-based medicine and patient welfare. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having people that care about you, to have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
The Montgomery City Council voted to uphold Mayor Stephen Reed's veto of a proposed moratorium on new package stores, gas stations, vape shops, and convenience stores. The council had approved the moratorium just 2 weeks ago, citing youth safety concerns, but Reed vetoed the moratorium, warning of a negative economic impact on the city. On Tuesday, the council unanimously agreed with the veto without debate or objection. It's unclear if they'll offer a revised resolution in the future. I'm Andrea Tice.
More news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
We're a customer service company that does electrical work. Landscape lighting, backyard lighting, you name it. If it involves the wire, we handle it. Peace of mind made easy. That's what you get with Mr. Electric.
Mr. Electric, the power to make things better.
Pizza Perfect is knocking it out of the park in June. This month, get $2 off any medium pizza and $4 off any large. Now, that's what I call a deal. Pizza Perfect is known for their all-you-can-eat buffet that includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch, and they're open for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. For a to-go or takeout order, call 244-7721. Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The risk of scattered showers and storms will continue well into the evening hours before they fade out overnight. Low temperature down to about 72. Now, the general trend for the next few days will be more random storms, but maybe fewer on the radar. Just not as many storms to go around. Highs in the low 90s tomorrow, but edging closer to the mid 90s by the time we get to the weekend with dangerous heat indices 105 or higher. The official first day of summer, of course, is Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE's 25 and 25 has you covered. For just $25 in closing costs, you can tap into your home's equity. No hidden fees, no headaches, just extra cash. Visit your local ASE Credit Union branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, NMLS 420259. Terms apply.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
ASE, an equal housing lender. We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Panther perfection. The Florida Panthers win their second consecutive Stanley Cup.
Hi, to everybody who joined us for our season prayer visit for the Florida Panthers. Thank you for your help. So this woman, our friend Jacqueline, could celebrate again.
Yeah, that was wild.
So are you going to go for the parade again?
I'm thinking about it. The parade is going to be Sunday.
Oh.
So it's a really quick turnaround time for them. Last year they did it like 2 weeks out, so we had some time to plan.
Mm-hmm.
But this year they're doing it Sunday. And I mean, I can, but I don't know if I should.
Well, I mean,
and Lola still isn't forgiving me for going to the game without her. So if I go to the parade without her, she may never speak to me again.
by the way, I want you to say hi to Kristy Tell Jacqueline your company name again so I don't screw it up.
It's Southeast Psychiatry Services.
Southeast
I need
Psychiatry.
that.
We've been having therapy today.
Yes.
I'm like, I need that. Sign me up.
Oh, good. Give us a call. I'll give you our number.
I mean, being a hockey fan in Alabama is crazy enough, right?
It can be lonely.
I'm a hockey fan too, so I'm there with you.
Experience.
But it was wild. I'm still haven't come down from all the adrenaline from the win last night, and it's been a very busy day, so I'm exhausted.
Let me ask Kristy a question here. Is it codependent for me?
Yes.
Yeah, you are codependent.
100%.
We all are, to a certain extent.
I was told by my attorney and friend, Jacqueline, that I shouldn't be watching the game on TV so I don't curse the team. But I was allowed to check on my phone. And I did diligently watch the score. And I was just totally, my whole evening was kind of dependent on a happy outcome for my friend. Is that codependency or is that just stupid?
Honestly, you want the honest answer?
Yes.
Stupid not.
I think the codependency is having to call in every day.
Yeah.
And talk to you.
Yeah. That's a codependency.
Or when you're like text messaging me because I haven't called in and you're like,
Right.
"Are you mad at me?" And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I was working.
He's like texting you, can you call in 5 minutes? And you see it 20 minutes later. He's like, you didn't answer my text message.
I know. I'm like, sorry, Greg. Like, I didn't know.
Codependency.
I'm just telling you how important you are to me. What's wrong with that?
I'll take it.
Oh, that's sweet.
But Greg, you're gonna get mad at me. So I'm having a celebratory adult beverage with my office manager Amy and some other lawyers. So I'm gonna have to cut you short.
Oh, see?
What's the real reason you have to leave so early?
But I did love you enough to step away to call.
You did, and I appreciate that, and I get it. I'm not.
That's
quite
going to be
that bad.
text messages all through the night to your phone.
Exactly.
You will, like a crazy ex.
Celebrate, you deserve it.
Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Here's a parting. Well, good. Glad that we're in a celebratory mood. This clip I found. I want to cue this one up to play it. I guess Arnold went on The View.
Yeah.
And the headline here says, watch as The View is left speechless.
Share it.
I'm going to.
Okay.
I click this. Look at this. I think it's ready to go, right?
It is.
I want to know if this is what it's cracked up to be. So let's give it a listen.
You're an immigrant in this country. Yeah. Did you have a
would you
self? You are an immigrant. You're an immigrant in this country. Yeah. Did you have a visceral reaction to what they're doing, what ICE is doing when you see the videos of it?
Well, I tell you, you say that the immigrant, I'm so proud and happy that I was embraced by the American people like that. I mean, imagine I came over here with the age of 21 with absolutely nothing. And then to create a career like that. I mean, in no other country in the world could you do that. Every single thing, if it's my bodybuilding career, if it's my acting career, becoming governor, the beautiful family that I've created, all of this is because of America.
That's true.
And so this is why I'm so happy to see firsthand that this is the greatest country in the world and it is the land of opportunity. And I think because I'm such a proud American and a proud immigrant that came to America, I was asked to do on July 4th a big speech, the keynote speech at Mount Vernon, where George Washington was with the rest, and where he lived and all that, to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America, the existence of America. And I will be doing the speech that they asked me because I'm an immigrant, and there will be 7,000 some people there, and there will be people that will be sworn in and will become citizens that day.
That's great.
So it's really a great celebration. This is what this is all about, is to celebrate people becoming Americans and coming to America and all that. And so I just think the world of the great kind of a history that we have with immigrants in America. But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So we got to do things legal. And those people that are doing illegal things in America and that are foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest. and you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can, keep things clean, and to make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. So I think the important thing is when you become an immigrant to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, if I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back. But you have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America and to pay back to America and to go and do something for your community for no money whatsoever. Give something back to after-school program, Special Olympics, or whatever it is. Make this country a better place.
Did you hear the air leave
So if you are an
the
immigrant,
room
you're an immigrant in this country.
when
did you
we brought in the legal aspect? Like,
They all just kind of
again, what am I doing wrong here? I just don't understand. You know, ICE is there. Their goal is to catch people who have committed crime, who have been a bad guest, as Arnold would say. And I don't understand the justification. What did we hear? What did we hear during the whole freaking picture and everything else? Nobody's above the law, right? So what's the problem? What is the problem?
we know that there are people above the law.
But the key moment in that clip was the air leaving the room when he didn't say what they expected him to say, which is kind of crazy. Oh, well, nice speech. And, Mount Vernon, you ever been to Mount Vernon?
Yeah, I think they didn't like that he had accepted that invitation either. We kind of heard it there too, a little pause. He said, I'm going to speak there for the 250th. That's a year away.
Yes.
So he's already been asked to do it and accepted.
Yes.
And they were like, okay.
Well, it's funny because I my magazine too. That's something I could use as help with procrastination. Because that's something that
I don't know anything that can help with that other than want to keep yourself going.
Start making a list.
Yes. Start your day off.
I'm one of those
focused.
people I do but I'm always like at the last minute. I hate that pressure, you know.
There is no magic pill for that.
No, you just have to change habits. Make new things habits.
It takes 2
instead of-
weeks to sort of habit.
Right.
So get up every morning, have yourself focused on what you want to do. Make a list if you have to. Get it done. In 2 weeks, you'll have a habit.
How long do you have to write the article? A month in between? See, if you wrote for 5 minutes, 5 days a week, you have it done in a week or two. So just do that. Don't write it all at one time.
Don't wait till the last minute.
You know what this is reminding me of?
Does it take you a month to figure out what you're going to write?
Well, that's part of it. Because I like to keep it going. But what I'm doing in July is taking a look. Well, neither of you will. It's Boom Magazine. So it's for older people.
Boomer.
Susan Woody. But we all, those of us who went through it in 1976, remember the bicentennial. And this is at a time when malaise was the word of the day. The country was going nowhere. The economy bad shape. Gas prices going up. Everything's getting more expensive. And yet, when 1976 rolled around and the bicentennial was here, everybody went crazy. Patriotic fervor was off the chart. And it was great. Because I always wanted to be proud of the country, proud to be an American, and all that. And it turned out, and of course, this is America. We had products, we had bicentennial jeans, everything was bicentennial something.
I
And
still can't find those.
everybody wore it. You know, we had pants, shirts. I mean, if you weren't, you were like, what are you, a communist or something? You know, let's get a program here. We are celebrating America's 200th birthday.
That's what I think about people. If I see on Memorial Day and the 4th of July, people are not wearing some sort of red, white, and blue. I'm like, oh, right? Are you moving?
So I'm,
yeah. I want to see some earrings.
Arnold may have inadvertently helped me because
something.
I want to see that some of the other things. Mount Vernon
I know it is going to be like a New Year's Eve style
Oh, yeah.
celebration. They're going to be all over the country doing big things. I wonder who's going to be about at Mount Rushmore.
July 4th, 1976, I was at the lake in Chicago. And literally from the Indian side of the lake all the way around the perimeter through downtown Chicago was fireworks simultaneously. Never seen anything like it. Just it went on and it didn't stop. And it was great.
Oh, okay. The White House already has a ticker for
events.
Yes. Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Here's the thing: when you go to Mount Vernon, and I've been there about a half a dozen.
380 days, 6 hours, 3 minutes away.
Oh, there's a ticker.
Yeah.
How about that? When you go to Mount Vernon, and you know about George Washington, father of the country, blah, blah, blah. And the Historical Society maintains the estate. It's this beautiful. The house is preserved. It's painted. It's got a billiard table. Things you didn't know. What did they do for fun of that? It's just fascinating. But at the base of this rolling lawn that leads up to the front of the house, cut into the side of the hill, are the graves of George. If you look in and you see the actual sarcophagus. And you look at it and you realize, wow, that's him and Martha. And then when you go through the house, you see the bed that he died in. I don't know why I'm fascinated by that.
It is neat. It's neat.
Have you ever been to Warm Springs, Georgia?
Yes.
I love that place.
Mm-hmm.
And I always get the chills because for one day, it was the most important city on the planet Earth. It's got a population of 743 people. But the way life works out, one day it was the center of the universe. And you look at the bed where Roosevelt died, the portrait that's not finished, the burn holes in the card table where Roosevelt posed was smoking cigarettes. All of that stuff is just fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting as well.
Good. I'm not alone.
No, it's neat.
All right, we're at 4:58 here, and in an hour we have no bomb hours. Right now we're heading to the traffic dungeon, and then the Wall Street Business Report and Salem Radio Network News. Is the rain affecting things, Skipper? Please bring us
A combination of slick streets and accidents earlier have I-85 northbound rolling really slow with heavy traffic from around Alabama State all the way up past Ann Street, and we've got more slow traffic East Boulevard to Taylor on out to Chantilly. Just creeping along right there. I-65 north and southbound out of Montgomery, light to mostly moderate traffic. We're busy on the boulevards, all of our feeder roads out. And a couple of minor accidents that we're hoping are about to clear. McGee Road and East Boulevard at the Troy Highway intersection. Also 3200 block, Norman Bridge Road near Patton Avenue. And I-65 southbound had a disabled vehicle against the center divider there. Here will keep you updated. Whether you're stacking credits or starting fresh, Trentham State has flexible classes for 5. Go to TrenthamState.edu for more information. Lock in your schedule, which will change every Skywatch traffic.
All right, let's grab this. From James, before we hit the top of the hour. James, good afternoon.
Mr. Budell, how are you today?
I'm all right. How are you?
It's been a day. George Washington. Do you recall what killed him?
Yes. Give me a second here. There was a name for it in that time. Quincy.
Quincy?
Quincy.
I'm not sure about Quincy. Is that where the doctors decide they're going to bleed you?
No, I don't know about that, but it's not a commonly used name for a doc. Kind of like pneumonia or something.
Yes,
Pamela's got it here. Listen, Quincy.
He had a respiratory condition. But back in those days, we didn't have the treatments that we have this day. So they thought if it was bloodborne, the doctors would bleed you and remove whatever it was that was causing your problem.
Right.
Not realizing that they were killing the man or helping to kill him, not bleeding him.
Well, it's no secret that James Garfield, who was shot, would have survived and continued his presidency, but his medical team killed him. sticking dirty fingers in the bullet hole and trying to probe around. I mean, that's the way it was. It's a shame. History would have been very different if it had not been for medical education.
Well, there you go, Mr. Udell.
Thank you. I am proud of myself for remembering Quincy.
Yep.
No relation to John Quincy Adams.
No, it was with an S.
I for years, I heard that. I remember that hearing that first time I toured Mount Vernon. And then I could never remember the name of the thing. So I thought is that a good song?
That is a good song.
Glad to hear it. All right, we're at 5 o'clock.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott. Stocks drifted after the Federal Reserve indicated it may cut interest rates twice this year, though it's far from certain about that. The S&P 500 ended basically flat. The Dow 0.1%, and the Nasdaq Composite rose 0.1%. Treasury yields also wavered, but ultimately held relatively steady after Fed Chair Jerome Powell said the central bank is still waiting to see what the effects of tariffs will be on the economy before deciding its next moves on interest rates. The price of oil swung in its latest yo-yo moves amid fighting between Israel and Iran. The Dow was down 44 points to close at 42,171. The Nasdaq gained 25 to 19,546. The S&P 500 dropped 1 point to 5980. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit AlabamaSheriff'sYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
You have an ugly tub? For those looking to upgrade their bathroom with 50 style bath innovations of Alabama have the perfect solution. Their bathtub to shower conversions and walk-in bathtubs are designed with accessibility in mind, offering easy entry and slip-resistant servicing for peace of mind. Plus, their stunning mildew-resistant high-strength polymer wall systems have beauty and durability, transforming your space from dull to delightful. Bath Innovation, expert team ensures a quick, hassle-free installation, turning your bathtub into a beautiful, accessible shower that enhances both safety and comfort. Take control of your bathroom safety today. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama locally at 271-2723 or visit bathinnovations.com.
For reliable electrical services in Central Alabama, trust the experts at Crosby Electric. Crosby's licensed and insured electricians are ready to tackle any project for your home, from troubleshooting, repairs, to installing new lighting and preventive maintenance. Crosby understands the need for quality service for small business. Crosby is big enough for the largest job and small enough to bring real value. Visit CrosbyElectric.com to schedule your service. Crosby, powering Central Alabama with excellence.
With the power of Action 8 News in the palm of your hand, download the free Action 8 News app to stay on top of breaking news wherever you are. Search for WAKA News in your app store to download the Action 8 News app today. Keep your family safe by watching Action 8 News. Look for 8 on your side consumer alerts with product recalls involving cars, food, children's toys, and other items in your home. 8 on your side, keeping you safe only on Action 8 News.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that is bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company, run by Alabamians for Alabamians. 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, our exposing those who work against our values. Visit 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter at 1819news.com.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACB Kusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SON News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth told senators on Wednesday that the Pentagon is providing options to President Trump as he decides his next steps on Iran, but would not say whether the military was planning to assist with Israeli strikes, an action that could risk dragging America into a wider war in the Middle East. The Supreme Court has upheld by a 6-3 vote a Tennessee ban on sex change operations on children. Another 26 states have laws similar to Tennessee's. Chief Justice John Roberts writes for a conservative majority, the law does not violate the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 44 points. The Nasdaq rose 25, the S&P down 1. More details at sonnews.com.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
It used to be people thought social networking was a great way to reach out to your friends and reconnect with old acquaintances. But now we know social networking is really just about showing how awesome your life is and rubbing everyone else's face in it.
Hanging on the beach with a margarita. Wish you were here. But not really.
But this need to tell everyone you know what you're doing and posting a picture has created a new malaise, chronic narcissism.
Selfie in the bathroom mirror. Looking good.
Now, there's Narcissistics Anonymous, a place where Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram addicts get brought back to reality.
Hi, my name's Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin. Whatever.
I have over 2,500 friends on Facebook.
Caitlin, the only reason you have that many friends is you show cleavage in your profile pic.
That's not true.
It's a hard reality to face when people discover they're really not all that interesting, but it's something they have to know.
So people really don't want to see my awesome kids at the ball game?
No, not really.
No. What about a pic of the meal I'm having?
Bill, stop.
Narcissistics Anonymous, conquering the addiction to self-important social networking, one self-centered person at a time.
Something almost inappropriately funny that I just received from a Facebook friend.
What is it?
The largest bomb in our arsenal, and this is a fake tweet from the president, if Iran doesn't surrender in the next 24 hours, I'm going to drop the Kristy bomb. Maybe that'll scare them into stopping the whole nuclear thing. Amazing, though, the market seems to have an intuition for what's going on. It was pretty stable today. And Brant's going to also had some financial numbers that came out today that I want to get his take on as well. Oh, only down 44 points. That's like nothing.
Right.
Because I'm somebody who remembers what a big freaking deal it was the day the Dow broke 2,000. What was it? Black Friday in the crash in 87. It drops 700 points.
How far into 87 was that?
I think it was October. We seem to have the bad financial stuff always happens in the fall. But the market dropped like 700 points. It was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? That's why I am not I have done so many stupid things with money. I had a buddy, and this is somebody in the program. You know what that means, right? All right. Sober guy, pretty bright, Sandy. He says, "Hey, Greg, give me a couple of $1,000. I got a tip to Continental Airlines. And you know they're no longer in business. Continental Airlines stock is going to get hot. So I'll buy you $3,200 worth of stock. We'll leverage to $1,200. Give me $2." So I did.
Mm-hmm.
Was I trying to be a people pleaser? I don't know. But he was right. The stock went up dramatically. And I said, "Sandy, I want to get out of this. I've made a nice little piece of change here."
Yeah.
No, keep it in there. Keep it in there.
Uh-huh.
I eventually got back $54.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, I've got some property I could sell you.
Where is it?
Investment property.
I'm just never going to be one of those people that you know.
It's oceanfront property in Arizona.
Yes.
Or Wetumpka or anywhere, sure.
I'll give you a special price.
That was, well, I've got other examples too, but I did do one time, again, same era. Everybody at the radio station, there was a fad called penny stocks. These were really cheap stocks, but if you bought enough and it went up a little bit, you made some money. Our station manager was sleeping with a woman in that business.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's true, and I know where this all came from.
Uh-huh.
And of course, you always wanted to be on the station manager's side. So I just put a few $100 in it. And it doubled like immediately. This time I said, "I'd like my money back. I want to get out. I'll take I put in 200. I made 200. That's good enough." And they fought like hell. "No, don't do it. Leave it in there. It's going to be worth thousands. 200, that's chump change." I said, "No, I want to take my profit and cut and run."
Play it safe.
So I did. Everybody and some of the people in the building were into this thing up to their eyeballs. Tens of thousands of dollars of penny stocks on that Friday in 1987 or Tuesday, whatever the hell day of the week it was, all gone. Totally wiped out. So
I bet that hurt.
Once in a while, I'll get one right. But that's why I'm generally not what you would call a deep investor. One place I've had great return on my money is Montgomery Paint and Body. You should see how happy Susan Woody is. Oh, my goodness.
Know.
She is the definition of jitty these days. With her, it was just a car that had a little age and some paint issues and stuff. She finally, after I cajoled her for God knows how long, took it over to Donnie Turner and Brandon Turner at Montgomery Paint and Body. And it looks like a brand new car. Little Miata convertible. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's given her a level of joy that I've never seen last this long. Certainly longer than any man could. But anyway, that's separate and aside. You just have to trust the Turner system. When they take your car, whether it's after a wreck or it just needs, a makeover, trust them, because Donnie's the kind of person that will not return the car until it meets his incredibly high standards of perfection. So 27 wreck with a W. Alabama law lets you choose if it is accident damage. So tell your insurance adjuster where you're going to take the car or where you want it towed. That's MPB on the Boulevard at East Shirley Lane.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The risk of scattered showers and storms will continue well into the evening hours before they fade out overnight. Low temperature down to about 72. Now, the general trend for the next few days will be more random storms, but maybe fewer on the radar. Just not as many storms to go around. Highs in the low 90s tomorrow, but edging closer to the mid 90s by the time we get to the weekend with dangerous heat indices 105 or higher. The official first day of summer, of course, is Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
All right, we're waiting on Brett McDonald to join us. Our guest sidekick this afternoon has been Kristy, and she's with Southeast
Psychiatry.
And we've been talking, well, telling stories, a lot about mental health, terms you hear bandied about like codependency and addiction and things like that. And we've invited her back.
Yeah, because we need therapy.
Yeah.
And we're not afraid to admit it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're not.
I would not be here today without some great therapists. And the best ones always challenge.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you the truth,
Mm-hmm.
which is not always easy to hear sometimes.
The hard truth.
Yeah. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I'll never forget it. I could take you to the exact spot where he said, "Grow up." And
I bet that's not the first time you heard it, but it's the first time you internalized it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That time I did. Let's see if this is Mr. McDonald. Brad?
Yeah. Hey, Greg. How are you, man?
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Tell us about the day in the world of money. What were the stories, the headlines?
I mean, I think obviously it's like we talked yesterday afternoon. There are two big stories, a huge geopolitical event within the Middle East that, everyone's still just locked in on that. But because it does have profound impacts on things like crude oil and others, which is obviously pretty important when you start thinking about the U.S. economy and financial markets. The other is the big Fed meeting today. The Fed meeting turned out exactly the way I felt like it would. Yesterday afternoon when I laid it out, I felt like they would leave rates unchanged, but that it would sound more of a dovish tone. And when you looked at those dot plots from the various voting members of the committee, that it would show, that there's a high likelihood that we would see at least a half point in rate cuts this year, and that's exactly what we got. The thing that I think kind of bugged the market a little bit is that, Jay Powell, essentially, I'll boil it down. I won't go through all the complex language and verbiage, but I think what he believes is going to unfold over the course of the rest of the year is something that moves closer towards a stagflation environment. He believes that the economy is slowing down, which is not a surprise. I mean, we've been saying that for quite some time. It is slowing down. For crying out loud, all the things Trump's trying to do have not been put in place. I mean, we don't have this tax legislation passed. There's just a lot of things, and so we are in a slowdown. And I think these are the sort of the after effects, the hangover, if you will, from the Biden administration. And I really feel like that's what this is. It's a hangover from the prior administration. And so we're going to have to grapple with that on a short-term basis. The other thing is, Jay Powell pretty much said that he believes that inflation is going to tick back up towards the end of the year. Now, and this is so hard to explain, because I don't want to sit here and say that Trump's policies are causing inflation, because they're not. The classic definition of inflation. However, at some point, tariffs eventually do make their way into the economy. It's just to think that they won't is really being sort of ignorant. They will. But it's a one-time adjustment, and I've been trying to say that on the show. It's a one-time adjustment. This is not the classic definition of inflation. And so, yes, could we see a temporary move towards the end of the year back closer to a 3% number? Absolutely, we could, but it's not something that is sustainable. The economy adjusts to the level, and then you work your way through it. It's just not that big of a deal. And so, and I think that even if Jay Powell's correct, if you were to strip down the numbers, every CPI report, every PCE report, what you're going to find is that the general level of prices are not moving higher, that you will be able to prove out mathematically that it's a one-time adjustment. And by the way, I don't even think if you've got a 10% tariff across the board on a lot of these countries, I don't think you're going to see a 10%. In other words, the entire 10% number will not work its way through the economy all the way to the consumer. It'll be a very, very small fractional amount. And as I said, it would be a one-time adjustment. So anyway, Jay Powell, I think by saying that to the market, it kind of spooked the market a little bit. The whole idea of, a slowing economy with a slight uptick in the rate of inflation. We saw the green numbers sort of evaporate. Now, it wasn't a horrible day. I mean, we pretty much closed, flat on the day,
right,
if you really look at it. So I think it was a big bunch of nothing. I really do. I think the Fed's going to end up having to cut. And I think the bigger issue, the thing that people are not focusing on, and listen, yes, should the Fed cut? Absolutely. But I want to implore the listeners, and I want to say this with extremely high conviction. The federal funds rate is really sort of the least of our worries. By far, like it's not even close. The bigger thing that we should be concerned about is, the budget deficits, the fiscal profile of the country, and the impact that is having on the value of the dollar, and also the impact that that's going to have on long-term bond yields. And I've said this a bunch of times. The 10-year Treasury bond yield is what determines home mortgage rates, is what determines home equity lines of credit rates. In large part, it has a lot to do with credit card rates, car loans, things like that, because car loans are amortized of, 60, 72 months, sometimes, even out to 7-8 years now. So the pricing in those debt markets is much more commensurate with the 10-year bond yield than it is short-term federal funds rate. And so I just think with what's going on and the challenges that I've been talking about for so long with Scott Bessent at the Treasury and having to term out all the debt, all the junk that Janet Yellen did while she was at Treasury. As I said, she shifted the volatility in the Treasury bond market from the back end of 23 and all of 24 into 2025 and the first part of 26. And she handed this big mess to the new administration, to Trump and to Bessent. They're going to have to deal with it. And also with the new tax legislation, whatever final form is passed, as I've said, there will be short-term increase in the deficit, and that means additional borrowings, and that's going to be reflected in the U.S. Treasury market and in these bond yields that I'm talking about. So that's the most salient thing that we have to pay attention to more than anything else. And I think, but I will say this, on the other side of that coin, I'm also convinced that with this new tax legislation and with some of the things that Trump is doing, some of the deregulation across the board in various industries, and also the way they're going to change some of the regulations of the banking industry that could be quite supportive of the Treasury market in the right way, not the wrong way. I think I think in a year from now, we're going to see very significant U.S. GDP growth. And I think it'll be a much better story to tell. But I've been saying this for a while, and it's just Trump cannot fix these massive problems overnight. It's impossible. He's going to, and as I've told you, and I've told the listeners, he's got to take his pain early, get the economy growing by the time we're dealing with the midterm elections, And if he's got a vibrant, healthy, growing economy by this time next year, I think that the Republicans can maintain the House and the Senate. And that's what he's trying to do.
All right, Brent, we appreciate the analysis on today's news. Very interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what tomorrow holds. But anyway, pretty much, as I said, as expected all the way around. And we'll keep an eye on the geopolitical stuff for you.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
The opinions voiced in this material.
What?
The opinions voiced.
What?
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor, and separate entity from LPL Financial.
All right, at 5:26, up next, we have the Movie Maven, and we're going to be talking about a show called Paradise.
Uh-huh.
Yes, very
That's the one Cowgirl was talking about.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah. Got to look at it, and we'll talk about that. Somehow, Megalopolis is... there is something about that, and The Better Sister. Those shows and more coming up with the Movie Maven in just a minute at 5:27. Clark's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing would love to partner up with you in keeping you comfortable all summer. We haven't had the hottest June I've experienced here, but the humidity is ridiculous. It's just been, yeah,
disgusting.
The temperature and the dew point have been the same.
Soggy.
Very. What you like when you open your door is that nice, cool, dry wall of air. And maintaining it is something Clark's can help you with and save you money in the process. For $180 a year, you get 2 annual tune-ups to your system before each seasonal change and a guarantee of priority service if something should go wrong, if something breaks. Same guarantee of immediate access to the best plumbers on the planet should you have an issue there. And generally, when there's a plumbing problem, it's more along the lines of something urgent and sometimes even an emergency. So keep this number handy. Better yet, call it if you're not already a member, 277-2125, 277-2125, or visit clarkcomfort.com. Their Alabama certification number 09098 as we check back with Skipper ahead of Sky Mosley's Blue Water News.
Very heavy traffic and a lot of minor accidents all over Montgomery. One that could be causing you some problems, Ann Street, 1100 block. That's going to be right near Chestnut at I-85. Watch out for emergency vehicles there. Slow traffic on 85 northbound around Perry Hill to East Boulevard on out to Chantilly past Taylor. It was creeping at Taylor just a few minutes ago. I-65 and 85 very busy now, as well as the boulevards. And with a little bit of rain in the area, that's got folks slipping and sliding around. Please buckle up, drive carefully. We will keep you updated. Up to $10,000 off the last of the 2024 Nissan Z cars at McKenna Nissan. It's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. I'm Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
Education this week at the Renaissance Hotel in downtown Montgomery. The convention will host a social justice march to the steps of the Capitol today at 2 o'clock. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Have you been thinking about selling your home? Let me ask you. Would you want to trust your biggest investment with a part-time agent? You know, the kind who can't make your property a priority until after work at their real job? I'm Hannah Grantham, and you don't get that with us.
That's right. And I'm Eddie Bader. And if they're not focused 100% on your home, can they really even get you top dollar?
I couldn't agree more. We're top producing agents with a reputation for getting results. No side gigs here at Forest Meadows Homes and Land.
So call us today at 334-368-6358 and let us show you why who you have on your sign really matters.
Men, you are under siege. From the minute you hit adulthood, stress, bad sleep, junk food, screens, pressure, it all chips away at your testosterone, your energy, and yeah, your confidence. But no one tells you that. And no one tells you the benefit of screening early when you're younger. Research has found that maintaining optimal hormone levels prevents severe men's health issues later in life. At Montgomery Men's Health, we fight for you. The tired dad, the high performers running on fumes, the gym grinders, the man whom online pills have failed. This is for every man, young and old. Forget pills from apps or emails. You need a real medical provider, a clinic that'll fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Guys, the future is local. Real clinics, real specialists, real answers. Testosterone results in minutes, not days. Montgomery Men's Health's friendly staff is on standby, ready to tackle your ED, your low T, and enhance your life. Call right now, 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Montgomery Men's Health, making it happen.
When you need a new door or window replaced, you want it done right. Someone who delivers expert craftsmanship every time, experience is a must. Listen, Davis Door and Sash. They can show you new doors and windows that can help you lower your utility bills and boost energy efficiency. DavisDoorandSashAlabama.com or call 334-288-6010. Davis Door and Sash, the perfect fit for your home.
Come on down to Epicure and Jack's Tavern, where Southern comfort meets culinary delight. For just $9.99, seniors can enjoy their lunch meat special with 3 hearty sides, including a drink and bread. Regular sizes are just $13.99. Remember, at Epicure and Jack's, they make every dish from scratch every day. This isn't fast food, it's fresh food, crafted with care. Join them for a taste of the South, only at Epicure and Jack's Tavern.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hi, I'm Allison Chandley, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Nearly 90% of people in our area listen to local radio stations more than 14 hours every week. Blue Water is the most listened to group in Central Alabama. Put our stations to work for your business. Contact me, Allison Chandley, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The risk of scattered showers and storms will continue well into the evening hours before they fade out overnight. Low temperature down to about 72. Now, the general trend for the next few days will be more random storms, but maybe fewer on the radar. Just not as many storms to go around. Highs in the low 90s tomorrow, but edging closer to the mid 90s by the time we get to the weekend with dangerous heat indices 105 or higher. The official first day of summer, of course, is Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Hey, this is Peaches and Clean, Powerful Carpet Cleaning. Do you have commercial property, offices, or rental units? Give us a call at Peaches and Clean. We can clean and restore your carpeting and bring them back to life. Give us a call at Peaches and Clean or peachesandclean.com.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean. News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Miss Murray's Movie Minute brought to you by AMS Studios. Relax your soul, refresh your mind, renew your spirit with AMS Studios on Main Street in Prattville. AMS-studios.com. Call 730-1268. We now welcome the movie maven, Ellen Murray. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Say hi to our guest sidekick, Kristy, who has been offering us mental health.
Hi, Kristy.
Hey, how are you?
We all need some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're all feeling better about the world in general. So we're ready for some entertainment. What do you want to start with this afternoon?
Well, when Cowgirl was on your show yesterday, you asked what she's watching, and she mentioned a show called Paradise that I had not heard of. So I gave it a try last night, and it is really good. It's like a political mystery, murder mystery, but you find out very soon on that these people are all living in this underground bunker the size of a city because of this disaster that has basically wiped off everyone else from the earth. So there's a lot of intrigue, a lot of secrets that are bubbling to the surface, and Sterling K. Brown is the main character. He's the Secret Service agent to the president who finds him. James Marsden plays the president, and Julianne Nicholson from Law and Order fame, I suppose, is the billionaire tech genius that came up with this underground world. So,
sounds like my
I'm
kind of show.
excited to watch the rest of it.
I checked it out, and I agree. It's very interesting. But the thing, it's like I'm one of those people, I can tell people who are playing a part that I've seen in other shows. I drive Rich Thomas nuts, but I'm crazy. Like if we're watching something, and Julianne, what's her last name? Moore.
No, Julianne Nicholson.
Nicholson from SVU, Law and Order SVU. But before, she looks so different now. She was like Peter Pan when that show was on TV. She was very petite and kind of an elfish face. She's very different looking these days. And
well, they show her in various stages of her life. So she was young and middle-aged, and now she's older, and she's, they flash back and forth to different ages of her life. So they aged her well in the makeup department, I think.
I agree with you. This concept is very different. It's absolutely worth a watch. My only criticism was the sequencing, the reveal. Stuff is revealed, but I'm not that bright, so it usually takes me longer to catch on to things than it does regular people. People of average intelligence.
It does jump back and forth in time, so you gotta closely pay attention to where the people are. And by her, it's just how short her haircut tells you what age she is.
Yeah, that's the key. Isn't that funny? That's the key thing in it. But I'm glad you checked that one out. And you want to talk about Megalopolis? I thought that was a distant blast in the past.
Yeah, so I have the day off tomorrow because of my wonderful employer. So I was thinking about what do I want to watch, and I really haven't seen Megalopolis yet, and I would love to since I have this free time. And I looked it up, and it's not on Prime. It's not anywhere where you could rent or buy it. And I found this little video of a guy explaining that there's only really one way to see it, is that Scorsese himself is going to theaters and doing limited release, special invitation theater viewings because he insists that that's seen in a theater. He doesn't want people watching it at home. And the only other way you can see it besides going to the theater with him is on a transcontinental American Airlines flight. Apparently they're showing it there too.
I mean, that was the story behind that. This is something he worked on for a couple of decades. He invested almost $200 million. He sold parts of his vineyard to finance that thing. And it was the biggest bomb of the century so far.
The Rotten Tomatoes score is sitting at 35% for critics and 45% for audience, which is really terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a universal verdict of this sucks. And you have one more you wanted to talk about this afternoon.
Yeah, last but not least, I haven't seen it yet, but it was recommended to me by someone that I trust. It's called The Better Sister, and it's kind of another murder mystery whodunit, but the two sisters are estranged, so they have that going between them. And it stars Elizabeth Banks and Jessica Biel, both of whom I really like.
Yeah.
So
I started it.
I will give
So
that one
have
a
I. It's
try.
good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How is it?
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the third episode, I think, and it is good. It's weird.
Okay, cool.
It is interesting, like the relationships of the characters, and it does start out to where you see a sequence of events and then you see it again in kind of a different way, or like some details of it are changed and you're like, okay, what actually happened?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
You have to pay attention.
By the way,
Okay.
Kristy, our guest, her specialty, her career is in psychiatry, and I want to run something by you since this Better Sister and Ellen mentioned do women compete at all levels? I've been told this by...
No, we don't compete, do we?
It depends on the kind of woman, really.
It does.
It depends.
I heard, I mean,
a
it's...
lot of women do, but like for
Yes.
example, Pamela and I don't compete against each other because we got nothing that we're like trying to both get.
Yeah, but I think we're
So
both
it all
kind of
just-
like self-confident and self-assured and have our own things going on to where I don't really feel like I'm in competition with anybody. Anybody I meet.
Well, you are
Yeah.
your own brand. I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
And so is Ellen.
Yeah, you are unique in that way.
And I knew that about
But,
Kristy
yeah,
5 minutes after
most
she walked in.
women
So.
do. But you can also, if you're the kind of woman that takes care of your own business and doesn't need to be jealous and catty, you can recognize that in another woman right away, and you can just become friends instantly without having to worry about that crap.
Well, the title of it,
yeah.
and this is on Prime, The Better Sister, that automatically infers there's some type of competition going on here, right?
Yeah.
Josh,
Yeah.
I said something intelligent for once.
Wow.
This afternoon. I'm a much better person than I was when I walked in the door at 3:00. So, Paradise seems like there's universal agreement that this is something you should check out on Hulu. Megalopolis, that's stunning to me that you can't even buy the darn thing. It's that bad that you got to go to a theater
Yeah.
where Francis Ford Coppola feels like sharing it. I wonder how much in total he lost on that. That was
He doesn't
just-
care. We talked about this.
Yeah,
He doesn't care.
His,
It was his passion.
it's his final little baby.
The Better Sister, and that has Jessica Biel. Who was the other woman in that?
Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks. Sorry, I'm working on my memory too. All right, Ellen Murray, thank you so much for the contribution this afternoon, and a special thank you to
You're
Cowgirl
welcome.
for turning us on to something good. All righty, it is 5:44. Let me get a word in here before we revisit the traffic dungeon for Jack Ingram. Signature used cars, of course, the Ingram family, one of the last great automobile dealers in the United States, brings you brand new products from some of the best brands out there: Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Nissan, Volkswagen, Volvo, and Audi. But if you're shopping on a budget, and many people are turning to the pre-owned market for that reason, this is a place where you can shop with confidence. They have a vetting process there. I've seen it up close and personal. I'm an 8-time customer myself. I know how thoroughly they vet these vehicles before they put a price tag on them and put them on the floor. And I really admire that. They could play games, but they don't, because it's their reputation and they want to maintain that reliability. More cars under 20,000 than anybody else in the business. And in fact, I'm looking for I always check the category under 10 so that, there we go. One moment, please. I want to see if that truck is still there. They have a Dodge 1500 Ram for $49.99. I just don't want to tell you to go look at it if it's not there. And I'm having some difficulty navigating the system at the moment, so bear with me. But I do know that you can get a Mercedes-Benz there under $8,500. It's a 350. It's 2011, and its luxury is timeless. So forget the year on the car. Can it perform? Is it in great condition? All of these things are guaranteed to you by the Ingram family and their principles of operation. 25 plus lending partners, they'll get you done. Just get yourself in. All credit scores are welcome at Jack Ingram. Signature used cars and the entire Ingram family of brands at jackingram.com.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Here at Adams Drugs, we let our customers do the talking. I'm here with Ronnie Taunton, who was a longtime customer of Adams Drugs, moved away for 3 years, and came back to town recently. Ronnie, what did you do for another pharmacy when you moved out of town?
When we moved to Fairhope, we were looking for a local. We did not want to go to a big box store. And we did find one, but the service was not up to par. Adams Drug really spoiled us.
What was it like to come back to Adams Drugs again?
It was very easy. We picked up the phone when we got back, came up to Prattville and called the branch there in Prattville, and they took that phone call and did the rest of it. We didn't have to do a thing. It was very simple. We're glad to be back with them. They're so efficient and customer service oriented.
Come in to any of our 12 Adams Drugs locations. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net to find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
At Guardian Credit Union, it's not just about the dollars and cents. It's about relationships. If you want it, so do we. Need more adventure? So do we! Look forward to escaping the ordinary? So do we. Want to sharpen your skills in the kitchen? So do we. Want your kid to stick with music lessons? So do we. I think they got it, guys. So do we. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Housing Opportunity. NMLS 912757.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads, great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage, weird, but still a salad. One radish and a couple of green beans, also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke. Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hey! Don't you hey me? Didn't you get my text that I was locked out of my car and needed help?
Oh, I guess I didn't see it.
Hold on there, you lovebirds. I've got just the app for you. Notify, the notification service for notifications.
He definitely needs that.
Notify will notify you whenever you are notified with a notification.
How does it work?
Whenever you are notified with a notification, Notify is also notified, and then Notify will notify you that you are being notified with a notification.
But what if I miss the notification that Notify is notifying me about a notification?
When Notify is notified that you failed to note the notification, Notify will notify the notification sender that you were not notified of the notification.
But I'm still locked out of my car.
Notify has already notified a technician who's just about to notify you with a notification.
It works.
Cool. Notify. Be notified of your notifications.
I got to ask our guest, and we do want you to come back because there's a whole array of things. I've been thinking of it all afternoon of stuff that we've covered on the show that I would love to get your take on. But I have read studies that are showing that younger generations, Gen Z in particular, they're overwhelmed by technology. There's too much. It's like a job.
Way too much.
Are you seeing?
And a drug.
Mm-hmm.
And how about the
addiction?
Yes.
Instead of self-validation, the dependency on social media for how somebody feels about themselves. I mean, I didn't get enough likes, or somebody said something mean. Have you had to deal with those kinds of situations?
Yes, we have dealt with those in the past, and it is a true problem, and it's growing.
It's not just young people either.
No, it's not. It's all age groups.
Yeah.
It really is.
The adults who are trying to keep up with the Joneses definitely look for validation on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I know some older people, some really older people.
I think breaking free from that is one of the just best things you can do for your mental health.
Definitely.
You guys home while I check how many people watched my morning video?
He does this every day for real. Okay, we need to break you of that.
Do you have to prep yourself before you look at it?
Let's see. Only 1,700 views.
Oh my gosh, you got 7,000 before. What's
Nobody loves
happening?
me. Yeah, I think that's going to be more and more a part of your practice.
It is. It's an issue that is, like I said, that it's a wide range, everywhere from the cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can do everything on your cell phone now.
Yeah.
And it tends to draw you in, and you don't realize how much time has lapsed while you're playing the games or on your phone.
Oh, definitely.
And that's what makes it so addictive.
And watching the clip videos, it's like those little rushes of dopamine, which, I mean, you get addicted to, and then you stop producing it yourself. And that's why you have these dependencies, because you can't just be bored. You have to pick up your phone to stimulate yourself.
It's too convenient. I mean, you're sitting around not having to do, you're going to pick up the phone. Who doesn't? Everybody does.
Yeah.
Kristy, I may have to sell you on this, Greg Vidal reality, but I'm a very shy person.
No.
Yes.
Shy or private?
Shy. I'm talking social situations. And because of what I do, people think that I'm like going to be the life of the party. Sometimes but what I loved was the advent of online dating, assuming that you were being told the truth about whoever catches your interest, and people do tend to lie.
No, not really. Really?
But I like the idea that
Men in their heights.
you could browse. There were people putting themselves out there. You could browse. You didn't have to go through the whole game of, would you introduce me to that friend?
Or being
Just
introduced to people that
swipe right and swipe left.
people, are like, oh, you'll love this person. This person's great. And then you meet them and you're like,
really?
Is that what you think of me?
Right.
Well, you're right. And generally, the worst matches that were made for me like that were people that knew me well.
Yeah.
Not
You're
somebody
like,
I knew casually.
Oh my gosh.
You've known me all these years and you fixed me up with her?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Where did this come from?
Yep.
So I like the idea of don't mean it disrespectfully, but shopping and,
Shopping. That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But, and again, there's something to be said for fate, the ultimate matchmaker, that moment you can't plan for. You don't know it's coming.
It just happens.
It just happens. And it seems like a lot of people I know that have been in long-term marriages and relationships successfully have met that way. There really is no replacement for it. How can people reach out to your company if they're interested in doing something proactive about their happiness or getting rid of unhappiness?
Well, they can give us a call at 334-625-0725, or they can go online and go to our website at www.southeastpsychiatry.com, and you can put in an inquiry for an appointment there, and we will give you a call.
And you say it's done
100% telemed, so it's from the comfort of your home or in your office at work. So you don't have to leave the office and waste time driving to an office, sitting in the waiting room, and then driving back to work. You can just do it in your office.
Look, I've said it before. This is what saved my life. Turning my situation over to professionals and letting them guide me. And so anybody that's interested, I hope you'll consider it and take the action on your own behalf. It can make such an incredible difference.
Yes, it can.
And I promise you, you're going to learn a lot. It's maybe the greatest educational experience you can get. And a lot of what you learn about yourself, you're going to like. Ultimately, you will like, and you'll have a better opinion of yourself. I'm Greg Budell, and I stand by that message. And I hope you learn. Thanks so much for coming and joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
All righty. You're going to get one final look at traffic with Skipper, and then head to Baumhauer's.
Traffic remains busy all over the area this afternoon. I-65 and 85 still loaded up. We're still pretty busy on the boulevards and all of our feeder roads outbound from Montgomery. Several minor accidents.